The Hidden Power of Your Brain, written and published by United Sports. There is a force inside you more powerful than any technology, more complex than the most advanced machine, and yet, most people never unlock even a fraction of its true potential. That force is your brain. It is not just an organ. It is the command center of your destiny. Every thought, every action, every single decision you make is shaped by the way your brain functions. And the truth is, the way you train your brain determines the quality of your life. If you master your mind, you can change your world. But if you let it run on autopilot, your dreams will forever remain just that, dreams. Welcome to United Sports, where today, you are about to learn the hidden power of your brain and how to unleash it to transform your life forever. Stay with us till the end, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more life-changing insights. The brain is not a static organ. It is a living, evolving powerhouse that can be trained, shaped, and upgraded just like a muscle. Every single day, your brain is either getting stronger or weaker, depending on how you use it. If you allow yourself to be surrounded by negativity, distractions, and mindless entertainment, your brain adapts to that and becomes lazy. But if you feed it knowledge, challenge it with new skills, and push its limits, it starts working for you instead of against you. This is where most people fail. They believe intelligence and mental strength are fixed traits. But science has proven that the brain can rewire itself, grow new connections, and even heal past limitations if trained correctly. Most people spend their entire lives reacting instead of creating. They wake up and immediately get consumed by their environment, their phone notifications, the news, their problems. But the most successful minds don't live in reaction mode. They train their brains to be in creation mode. Instead of letting external forces control them, they decide how they think, how they feel, and how they act. This single shift, from reacting to creating, separates those who lead from those who follow. And it all starts with understanding how powerful your brain truly is. Your thoughts are not random. They are a direct reflection of the information you consume, the beliefs you hold, and the habits you repeat daily. The more you think a certain way, the more your brain wires itself to think that way automatically. This is called neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change itself based on experience. If you constantly feed it negativity, self-doubt, and fear, those pathways become stronger. But if you consciously train it with powerful thoughts, self-belief, and limitless possibilities, it rewires itself for success. This is why people who practice positive thinking, visualization, and self-discipline often seem unstoppable, because their brain has been programmed to work for them, not against them. One of the most important things you must realize is that your brain does not know the difference between reality and imagination. If you visualize failure, your brain reacts as if it's real. If you constantly think about worst-case scenarios, your brain prepares your body for stress, anxiety, and survival mode. But if you visualize success, strength, and confidence, your brain starts working toward making those things a reality. This is why elite athletes, world-class performers, and top business leaders train their minds just as hard as they train their bodies or skills. They understand that the brain is the ultimate key to unlocking their full potential. However, unlocking your brain's hidden power is not just about thinking differently. It's also about taking action. Your brain thrives on challenges and new experiences. When you step out of your comfort zone, your brain creates new neural pathways, making you smarter, sharper, and more resilient. This is why doing things that scare you, learning new skills, and taking on difficult challenges is the fastest way to upgrade your brain. Every time you push beyond what you think is possible, your brain expands, and suddenly, things that once seemed impossible become part of your normal reality. Another secret to unlocking your brain's full power is controlling your environment. Your brain is constantly adapting to what it sees, hears, and experiences. If you surround yourself with negative people, toxic energy, and meaningless distractions, your brain absorbs that and limits your thinking. But if you surround yourself with high achievers, powerful ideas, and challenging goals, your brain adapts to that level. The people you interact with, the books you read, the videos you watch, all of these things shape your mental power. If you want to change your life, start by changing what your brain is exposed to every single day. Discipline is another factor that separates average minds from great minds. The greatest minds in history, Einstein, Tesla, Da Vinci, were not just intelligent, they were disciplined. They trained their brains to focus, to think deeply, to solve problems others ran away from. Today, most people have weakened attention spans, constantly distracted by social media, notifications, and entertainment. But those who train their brains to stay focused, eliminate distractions, and think deeply have an unfair advantage in life. Focus is a superpower in today's world, and those who master it control their destiny. One of the biggest lies people believe is that their brain slows down as they get older. In reality, your brain only slows down when you stop using it. Studies have shown that people who keep learning, solving problems, and pushing their cognitive limits remain mentally sharp even in old age. Your brain is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. If you want to stay sharp, never stop learning. Read books, solve problems, have deep conversations, and always challenge your thinking. Now that you understand the hidden power of your brain, it's time to take control. The next step is to learn how to rewire your mind for success by using the right brain hacks. In the next part, we will reveal powerful techniques that will help you unlock a limitless mindset and break free from mental barriers that have been holding you back. Stay tuned because this is just the beginning of your transformation. This is United Sports, and if you found value in this, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more life-changing content. The journey to mastering your brain has just begun. See you in the next part. How to rewire your mind for success. The mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant will grow. If you plant seeds of self-doubt, negativity, and fear, they will take root and spread. But if you plant confidence, discipline, and positive thinking, your mind will become a place of strength and success. The key is knowing that you have full control over what grows inside your mind. You are the gardener, and the future you create starts with the thoughts you allow to take root. Most people live their lives on autopilot, letting their past experiences and external influences shape their thinking. They do not realize that their mind can be reprogrammed. The thoughts you have today are the result of years of conditioning, by society, by family, by failures, and by fears. But just like a computer, your mind can be rewritten with new beliefs, new habits, and new ways of thinking. And when you start rewriting your mind with success, everything in your life will start to change. The first step in rewiring your mind is to become aware of your thoughts. Most people don't even notice the thoughts that run through their minds every day. They allow negativity, doubts, and worries to cycle endlessly. But once you become aware of your thoughts, you gain the power to change them. Every time a negative thought enters your mind, stop it immediately and replace it with a thought of strength and success. Your mind will resist at first, but over time, it will adapt. Your brain is wired to keep you safe. This means it often tries to stop you from taking risks, stepping out of your comfort zone, or trying new things. It whispers things like, "You're not good enough," or "What if you fail?" But this is just an old survival mechanism. The truth is, growth only happens outside your comfort zone. Every time you challenge yourself, your brain creates new pathways, making you stronger, sharper, and more capable. One of the most powerful ways to rewire your brain is through visualization. Your brain does not know the difference between reality and imagination. If you repeatedly visualize yourself succeeding, winning, and achieving your goals, your brain will start acting as if it's real. This is why top athletes and successful people use mental imagery, because when the mind believes something is possible, the body follows. The words you speak to yourself every day have a direct impact on how your brain functions. If you tell yourself, "I can't do this," or "I am not smart enough," your brain accepts it as truth. But if you constantly feed your mind with powerful words like, "I am capable," "I am strong," "I am unstoppable," your brain will rewire itself to believe it. The more you repeat these words, the more they become part of your reality. Every great mind in history has understood the power of repetition. The reason people stay stuck in their old ways is that they keep repeating the same thoughts, the same habits, and the same fears. But if you start repeating positive actions, your brain will start rewiring itself for greatness. Every time you choose to read instead of wasting time, to work out instead of procrastinating, or to take action instead of making excuses, you are literally reprogramming your mind for success. Discipline is the foundation of a strong mind. Most people think motivation is what makes people successful, but the truth is, motivation fades. Discipline is what keeps you going when motivation is gone. If you train your mind to stick to a routine, to do the hard work even when you don't feel like it, and to push past obstacles, success will become automatic. Your environment plays a huge role in shaping your mindset. If you are surrounded by people who complain, who blame others, and who make excuses, your mind will start to think the same way. But if you surround yourself with winners, people who push forward, who solve problems, and who believe in themselves, your mind will adopt the same mindset. Your brain absorbs the energy around you, so choose wisely. Fear is an illusion. The things you are afraid of today will not matter a year from now. The people who succeed in life are not those who never feel fear. They are the ones who move forward despite their fears. Your brain is wired to seek safety, but the greatest achievements in life come from stepping into the unknown. Train your brain to embrace fear instead of running from it. The past does not define you. Your mind will try to remind you of past failures, past mistakes, and past pain, but you must train yourself to let go. The most successful people in the world have failed more times than most people have even tried. The difference is, they did not let their past failures control their future. The only thing that matters is what you do right now. You must feed your mind the right fuel. Just like a car cannot run on dirty fuel, your brain cannot function at its best if you constantly feed it negativity, junk information, and useless distractions. Every book you read, every video you watch, and every conversation you have is either building your mind or breaking it. Choose wisely. Most people underestimate the power of writing. When you write down your goals, your plans, and your dreams, you are giving your brain a clear direction. Writing things down makes your thoughts tangible, and it forces your mind to focus. The most successful people don't just think about their goals. They write them down and make them real. Your brain needs challenges to grow. If you do the same things every day, your mind becomes stagnant. But when you push yourself, when you learn a new skill, solve a difficult problem, or step into something uncomfortable, your brain starts creating new connections. Growth happens when you challenge yourself. One of the greatest secrets to rewiring your mind is gratitude. When you train your brain to focus on what you have instead of what you lack, you shift your entire mindset. Gratitude rewires your brain for positivity, making you happier, stronger, and more resilient. The more you focus on what is good in your life, the more good things will come your way. You must learn to control your emotions. Your brain responds to emotions, and if you let anger, stress, or negativity take over, your mind will be in a constant state of chaos. But if you train yourself to stay calm under pressure, to think before reacting, and to shift your focus to solutions instead of problems, your mind will become unbreakable. Meditation is one of the most powerful ways to rewire your mind. It teaches you to control your thoughts, to silence negativity, and to focus on the present moment. People who practice meditation regularly have stronger minds, better focus, and greater emotional control. If you want to master your mind, learn to master silence. Success is not about luck. It is about consistently training your brain to think, act, and operate at a higher level. Every single day, you are either programming your mind for success or allowing it to stay stuck in the past. The choice is yours. The power to change your life is already inside you. You just have to activate it. In the next part, we will dive deep into mastering focus and mental clarity, how to eliminate distractions, sharpen your thinking, and unlock the full potential of your brain. Stay with us, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to United Sports for more powerful lessons. The journey to rewiring your mind has just begun. Mastering focus and mental clarity. The greatest minds in history all had one thing in common. They knew how to focus. They understood that success is not about doing 100 things at once, but about doing one thing with complete clarity. In a world full of distractions, mastering your focus is like unlocking a hidden superpower. The ability to concentrate deeply on a single task is what separates those who achieve greatness from those who remain stuck in mediocrity. Most people don't realize that their brain is being hijacked every day. Notifications, endless scrolling, and constant noise are training the mind to jump from one thing to another, never truly being present. When the brain is scattered, so is life. But when the brain is calm, clear, and focused, everything changes. Clarity brings power, and power brings results. The key to mental clarity is eliminating mental clutter. Too many thoughts running through your mind at once is like trying to drive through heavy fog. You can't see where you're going. But when you start removing unnecessary worries, distractions, and negative thoughts, the path becomes clear. And when the path is clear, you move forward faster than ever before. Most people think that multitasking is a strength, but in reality, it is a weakness. The brain is not designed to focus on multiple things at the same time. Every time you switch from one task to another, you lose focus, energy, and efficiency. The best way to train your brain is by practicing deep work, giving your full attention to one task for a set period of time. The more you do this, the stronger your focus becomes. Discipline is what builds focus. The people who are truly successful in life are not those who are naturally gifted, but those who have trained themselves to stay committed to a goal without giving in to distractions. Every time you resist the urge to check your phone, procrastinate, or waste time, you are strengthening the muscle of self-control. Over time, this turns into a superhuman ability to stay locked in on your dreams. Mental clarity is also about protecting your energy. Every decision you make, every piece of information you consume, and every person you interact with either gives you energy or takes it away. If you spend your days surrounded by negativity, your mind becomes foggy. But if you surround yourself with growth, knowledge, and positivity, your mind stays clear, sharp, and unstoppable. One of the most powerful ways to sharpen your focus is by controlling your morning. The first hour of your day sets the tone for everything that follows. If you start your day with distractions, stress, and social media, your mind will stay unfocused. But if you start your day with silence, planning, and intention, you will operate on a higher level for the rest of the day. Most people have no idea how much mental energy they waste every day. They spend hours worrying about things they cannot control, replaying past mistakes, and overthinking decisions. But the truth is, clarity comes when you let go of what you cannot change and focus only on what you can control. Your energy is precious. Don't waste it on things that don't move you forward. Another secret to sharpening your focus is giving your mind space to breathe. When your brain is overwhelmed, it shuts down. That's why the greatest thinkers in history, from Einstein to Steve Jobs, all took time to step away, walk, or reflect in silence. Clarity is not about thinking harder. It is about removing the noise so that the right thoughts can rise to the surface. The food you eat also plays a major role in mental clarity. Your brain is an engine, and the fuel you give it determines how well it performs. Eating heavy, processed, and sugary foods makes your mind sluggish and slow. But feeding your brain clean, high-energy foods like fruits, vegetables, and healthy fats keeps it sharp, focused, and full of energy. The next time you feel distracted, overwhelmed, or mentally foggy, stop and breathe. Your brain is not a machine that can run nonstop without breaks. If you never reset your mind, it will eventually slow down. Meditation, deep breathing, and even taking short walks can instantly refresh your focus and bring back mental clarity. Your brain thrives on movement. If you spend too much time sitting, your energy drops and your focus weakens. But when you exercise, stretch, or simply move, you wake up your brain. Physical movement sends oxygen to your brain, making it more alert and more powerful. A sharp mind starts with an active body. The reason why most people struggle with focus is because they have no clear purpose. When you don't know where you're going, everything becomes a distraction. But when you have a powerful reason behind your actions, your focus naturally sharpens. Purpose is the fuel that keeps the brain locked in on success. Mental clarity is also about controlling what you say to yourself. If your mind is filled with self-doubt, excuses, and negativity, you will never be able to focus on your goals. But if you train your mind to speak words of confidence, belief, and determination, you will unlock a level of clarity and focus you never knew existed. Time is the most valuable resource you have. Every moment spent on meaningless distractions is time you will never get back. The people who truly win in life are those who learn how to protect their time and spend it only on what matters. The sharper your focus, the less time you waste, and the more you achieve. Most people let their emotions control their focus. If they feel tired, sad, or unmotivated, they stop working. But the truth is, emotions are temporary, and real success comes from training your mind to keep going, no matter how you feel. The ability to push through distractions, tiredness, and negativity is what makes a mind unstoppable. One of the greatest lessons about focus is this: what you focus on grows. If you focus on problems, you will find more problems. But if you focus on solutions, opportunities, and growth, your mind will open doors you never even knew existed. Your brain is a magnet. It attracts whatever you give your attention to. Most people wait for motivation to focus, but the truth is, motivation follows action. If you take action first, even when you don't feel like it, motivation will eventually catch up. The greatest minds in the world do not rely on motivation. They rely on discipline. Focus is built, not wished for. The difference between success and failure is often just a matter of focus. Those who master their focus and mental clarity achieve more in 1 year than most people do in a lifetime. The good news is, focus is a skill, and like any skill, it can be trained. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. Now that you have learned how to sharpen your focus and master mental clarity, it's time to take it a step further. In the next part, we will reveal the science of habit formation, the key to making success automatic in your life. The science of habit formation and breakthrough thinking. The brain is a creature of habit. Every action repeated daily, every decision made instinctively, and every response given without thought is proof of this. Most people live their lives on autopilot, following routines that were never consciously designed. The power to change one's life does not come from a single act of willpower, but from mastering the science of habit formation. To break free from mental limitations, one must first take control of their habits. Habits shape identity. A person is not defined by what they do once, but by what they do consistently. A disciplined mind does not need motivation every day. It operates on deeply ingrained habits that push it forward. The key is to build positive habits that align with one's goals. The brain thrives on repetition. The more a habit is reinforced, the stronger the neural connections become. Over time, effort turns into instinct, and what once seemed difficult becomes second nature. Great minds do not rely on feelings, they rely on systems. If success were based on motivation alone, very few people would achieve it. The brain seeks comfort, but growth exists in discomfort. Those who shape their habits deliberately understand that discipline is greater than desire. They train their minds to do what must be done, regardless of how they feel in the moment. A single habit can change the course of an entire life. Waking up early, reading for 30 minutes, writing down goals, practicing gratitude. These are small actions, but they carry enormous power when practiced consistently. Every habit is a vote for the kind of person one becomes. The choice is simple. Either design habits intentionally or be controlled by unconscious routines that lead nowhere. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who remain stuck is their ability to break destructive habits. Negative thinking, procrastination, self-doubt. These patterns keep people trapped in cycles of mediocrity. The brain cannot move forward if it is constantly feeding on negativity. The first step to change is awareness. The second step is replacing bad habits with new ones that serve a higher purpose. Every person has the ability to reprogram their mind. The key is small, consistent improvements. Changing everything overnight is impossible, but changing one small thing every day is life-changing. The brain rewards consistency. It does not care how big or small the effort is. What matters is that the effort is repeated. Over time, small improvements create unstoppable momentum. Most people fail not because they lack potential, but because they give up too soon. They start with energy but lack endurance. They expect results overnight, and when they don't see immediate progress, they quit. What they fail to realize is that success compounds over time. The most powerful habits work in the background, invisible at first, until one day, everything changes. A mind conditioned for breakthrough thinking does not see obstacles as barriers. It sees them as challenges to be solved. The greatest innovators and visionaries did not accept the limits imposed on them by society. They trained their minds to think differently, to question the impossible, and to believe that there is always a way forward. The ability to think beyond limitations is not reserved for the few. It is a skill that can be developed. Those who train their brains to seek solutions instead of problems unlock their full creative potential. The brain responds to the questions it is asked. Instead of saying, "I can't do this." The right question is, "How can I make this possible?" That single shift in thinking is the difference between progress and stagnation. Doubt is the enemy of growth. Many people never reach their full potential because they convince themselves they are not ready. The truth is, no one is ever truly ready. The only way to grow is to take action before feeling prepared. The mind must be trained to take the first step, even when the outcome is uncertain. Growth happens in movement, not in hesitation. The greatest breakthroughs happen when the mind is challenged beyond its comfort zone. The brain is wired to seek safety, but safety does not lead to transformation. Every person who has ever achieved something extraordinary has done so by stepping into the unknown. They felt fear, but moved forward anyway. They embraced discomfort, knowing that it was the gateway to their next level. A person's belief system is the foundation of their success. If the mind believes something is possible, it finds ways to make it happen. If the mind believes something is impossible, it finds excuses. The subconscious mind does not distinguish between reality and perception. It simply acts on what it is trained to believe. The greatest power a person holds is the ability to control what they feed their mind. Every day, the brain is shaped by thoughts, words, and actions. Feeding it positive, empowering thoughts builds confidence and resilience. Feeding it doubt and negativity weakens it. The mind is like a garden. It will grow whatever is planted. The choice is simple: plant seeds of growth, or allow weeds of self-doubt to take over. Discipline, not motivation, builds a powerful mind. There will be days when energy is low, when doubt creeps in, and when the desire to quit feels overwhelming. But discipline is what separates those who succeed from those who do not. Success is not about doing the right thing sometimes. It is about doing it consistently, even when it is hard. There is no secret formula, no magic shortcut. The path to transformation is simple. Do the right things every day until they become who you are. Those who stick to their habits, who push beyond their mental barriers, and who train their minds to seek opportunities instead of excuses, eventually reach heights they never imagined possible. Breakthrough thinking is about seeing beyond what is visible. It is about recognizing that limitations exist only in the mind. It is about pushing forward when others stop, questioning the status quo, and refusing to accept mediocrity as a final destination. The future belongs to those who take control of their minds right now. Every habit formed today determines the results of tomorrow. Every thought entertained today shapes the life ahead. Success is not found in waiting for the perfect moment. It is created in the moments that seem insignificant but are repeated consistently. The brain holds unlimited potential, but only for those who demand more from it. The next part of this journey will dive deeper into unlocking creativity and limitless potential, pushing the brain to levels most people never experience. The power to transform is already within you. Now, it's time to take the next step. This is United Sports. If you found value in this, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. The journey of mental mastery is just beginning. Stay tuned for the next part. Unlocking creativity and limitless potential. Creativity is not a gift given to a lucky few. It is a skill that can be developed, trained, and mastered. Every person has an unlimited well of ideas, solutions, and innovations within their mind, but most never learn how to tap into it. They believe that creativity belongs to artists, writers, or musicians. But in reality, creativity is the ability to think differently, solve problems, and see opportunities where others see obstacles. It is the driving force behind success in every field, whether it's business, science, or personal growth. The good news is, creativity is not something you are born with. It is something you unlock. The greatest minds in history, from Leonardo da Vinci to Elon Musk, all had one thing in common. They trained their brains to think beyond limits. They didn't accept the world as it was. They imagined what it could be. Creativity starts when you stop following the same patterns, when you break free from the ordinary and challenge your mind to explore the impossible. Every great idea, every major breakthrough, started with someone daring to think differently. But here's the truth. Creativity does not happen by accident. It happens when the brain is challenged, stimulated, and forced to make new connections. When you do the same things every day, your brain follows the same thought patterns. But when you expose yourself to new experiences, new knowledge, and new challenges, your brain is forced to grow. This is why people who travel, read extensively, and learn multiple skills often have a higher level of creative thinking, because their brain is constantly making new connections. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that creativity comes from inspiration. They wait for the right moment, the perfect idea, the magical spark. But the most successful people know that creativity is built through consistent effort. They don't wait for inspiration, they create it. They sit down, brainstorm, experiment, and fail repeatedly until they find a breakthrough. The more you train your brain to think creatively, the easier it becomes to generate ideas on demand. Fear is the enemy of creativity. Most people are not lacking in ideas. They are afraid to express them. They worry about being wrong, looking foolish, or failing in front of others. But every great innovation, every major discovery, came from someone who was willing to take risks. The greatest minds do not fear failure. They use it as a stepping stone. They understand that every failure is a lesson, every mistake is a learning opportunity, and every setback is just a setup for a comeback. Creativity thrives in silence and deep thinking. In today's world, people are constantly distracted by their phones, social media, and endless notifications. But true creativity comes when the mind is given space to breathe, reflect, and explore ideas freely. This is why some of the best ideas come when people are alone, taking a walk, or in deep thought. If you want to unlock your full creative power, learn to embrace silence, reduce distractions, and give your brain time to think deeply. Another secret to limitless creativity is asking better questions. Instead of asking, "Why is this a problem?" ask, "How can this be an opportunity?" Instead of saying, "This is impossible," ask, "What would it take to make this possible?" The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your questions. The more you challenge your brain with better questions, the more it will work to find creative solutions. Surrounding yourself with creative and driven people is another powerful way to unlock your potential. Creativity is contagious. When you spend time with people who think outside the box, who push boundaries, who refuse to accept limitations, your brain naturally adapts to that mindset. Seek out mentors, join creative communities, and engage with people who challenge your way of thinking. The right environment can unlock ideas you never imagined possible. One of the most overlooked factors in creativity is health and energy levels. Your brain needs fuel to function at its best. A tired, stressed, and unhealthy brain struggles to generate new ideas. But when you prioritize sleep, nutrition, and exercise, your brain becomes sharper, more focused, and more capable of deep thinking. Many of the world's most creative individuals have routines that include physical activity, meditation, and proper rest, because they understand that the mind and body are deeply connected. The next time you feel stuck, unable to think creatively, change your environment. Go for a walk, visit a new place, read something outside your field, or engage in an activity you've never tried before. The brain thrives on novelty and variation. A simple shift in surroundings can unlock new perspectives and fresh ideas. Another powerful tool for unlocking creativity is writing down your ideas daily. The greatest thinkers in history kept journals because they understood that thoughts are fleeting and the best ideas often come when you least expect them. Writing forces the brain to clarify thoughts, connect ideas, and recognize patterns. Over time, this simple habit can lead to breakthroughs that change your life. Creativity is also strengthened through play and experimentation. The most successful innovators don't take themselves too seriously. They allow themselves to explore, make mistakes, and have fun with ideas. Children are naturally creative because they are not afraid to be wrong. The moment you give yourself permission to experiment without fear, your brain unlocks new levels of creative thinking. A common myth is that only certain fields require creativity. But whether you are an entrepreneur, a scientist, a student, or an athlete, creativity is what helps you find new solutions, adapt to challenges, and stay ahead of the competition. In a world that is constantly changing, those who think creatively will always have an advantage. Creativity and confidence go hand in hand. The more you trust yourself and your ideas, the more freely your brain will generate solutions. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. If you constantly second-guess yourself, your brain will hesitate. But if you believe in your ability to create and innovate, your brain will naturally step up to the challenge. Every great idea starts small. Some of the biggest companies in the world, Apple, Amazon, Tesla, began as simple ideas in someone's mind. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is execution. They didn't just think about their ideas, they acted on them. Creativity is useless without action. An idea alone does nothing, but an idea combined with action changes the world. The road to unlocking your creative potential is a journey, not a destination. There will be moments when you feel uninspired, stuck, or lost. But those are the moments when you must push forward, try something new, and trust the process. Creativity is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Your mind is limitless, but only if you allow it to be. The only barriers are the ones you accept. If you choose to think beyond limits, challenge yourself, and never stop learning, you will unlock a level of potential that most people never reach. Creativity is not reserved for a few. It belongs to those who dare to use it. Now that you understand the power of creativity, it's time to take the next step. In the next part, we will explore the art of emotional intelligence and mind control, the key to mastering not just your thoughts, but also your emotions and reactions. This is where true power begins. Stay tuned. The art of emotional intelligence and mind control. The greatest battles in life are not fought in the outside world. They are fought in the mind. The ability to control emotions, stay calm in chaos, and make powerful decisions under pressure is what separates those who succeed from those who struggle. Most people let their emotions dictate their actions, reacting impulsively to situations without realizing that emotions are not meant to control them. They are meant to be controlled. Emotional intelligence is the key to mastering the mind. It is the ability to understand emotions, not just in oneself, but in others. It is the power to remain composed when everything around is falling apart. Those who develop emotional intelligence do not get offended easily, do not panic in tough situations, and do not allow negative emotions to cloud their judgment. They remain centered, no matter what happens. The mind is like a wild horse. If left untamed, it runs in every direction, creating chaos and confusion. But with training, discipline, and understanding, it becomes a force of unstoppable power. The ability to control thoughts, eliminate negativity, and replace fear with confidence is a skill that can be learned. And once mastered, it changes everything. Most people react to life as if they have no control. They get angry when someone insults them, sad when they face failure, and anxious when things don't go their way. But the truth is, emotions are just signals. They are not reality. A strong mind understands that emotions are temporary, and they do not define actions unless one allows them to. There is power in pausing before reacting. When something triggers anger, frustration, or fear, the weak mind reacts instantly. But the strong mind takes a deep breath, analyzes the situation, and responds with intelligence, not impulse. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is the ability to think before acting. Self-awareness is the foundation of emotional control. A person who understands their own mind can navigate through life without being consumed by negativity. When one learns to observe their emotions instead of becoming trapped in them, they gain control over their thoughts, their actions, and ultimately, their destiny. Great minds do not allow external events to shake their inner peace. They understand that life is unpredictable, full of ups and downs, wins and losses. Instead of resisting reality, they adapt. They do not waste time complaining about things beyond their control. They focus on mastering the things they can control: their thoughts, their reactions, their mindset. Discipline is what makes emotional intelligence powerful. A person who lacks discipline will always be a slave to their emotions. They will lash out in anger, drown in self-doubt, and crumble under pressure. But a disciplined mind is different. It acknowledges emotions without allowing them to dictate behavior. It chooses response over reaction, wisdom over impulse. The greatest leaders, warriors, and thinkers in history all had one thing in common: unshakable mental strength. They faced storms without breaking, fought battles without fear, and made decisions without hesitation. They understood that true power does not come from physical strength or wealth. It comes from mastering the mind. People often seek control over others, over situations, over circumstances. But the real battle is not outside, it is within. The strongest individuals are not those who dominate others, but those who dominate themselves. They are not easily offended, not easily discouraged, and not easily broken. Pain, failure, rejection, these are all part of life. Most people allow them to create bitterness, doubt, and insecurity. But those who master emotional intelligence use these experiences as fuel. They do not run from discomfort. They embrace it, learn from it, and emerge stronger. Adversity does not weaken them, it strengthens them. The ability to let go is another sign of mental mastery. Most people hold on to anger, resentment, and past mistakes, allowing them to poison their future. But a strong mind understands that carrying emotional baggage only slows progress. Forgiveness is not about others. It is about freeing oneself from the prison of the past. There is immense power in stillness. The ability to remain calm, focused, and present, even in the middle of chaos, is what gives true strength. In moments of uncertainty, the mind that is quiet and composed makes the best decisions. Those who panic, who allow fear to control them, make mistakes. Calmness is a superpower. Every great achievement in history was made possible by individuals who refused to let emotions control them. They did not quit because they felt tired. They did not stop because they felt discouraged. They kept going because they knew that feelings are temporary, but results are permanent. Mastering emotions does not mean suppressing them. It means understanding them. Fear, sadness, and anger are not enemies. They are teachers. When one listens to them without being ruled by them, they gain insight, strength, and resilience. Emotions exist to be used as tools, not as chains. People often say, "I can't help the way I feel." But the truth is, feelings can be trained, just like muscles. With practice, one can rewire their emotional responses, turning stress into focus, turning anxiety into action, turning doubt into confidence. It takes time, but once mastered, it becomes a lifelong advantage. The ability to adapt emotionally is what allows people to rise above their circumstances. Life will always be unpredictable. Challenges will always come. But those who can shift their mindset, who can turn obstacles into opportunities, are the ones who succeed. Resilience is the foundation of greatness. No one is born with an unbreakable mind. It is something that is built, day by day, challenge by challenge. The more one practices emotional control, the stronger they become. It is a skill, not a gift. And like any skill, it improves with effort. In the end, the strongest mind is not the one that never feels emotion, but the one that feels everything and still chooses the right path. Emotional intelligence and mind control are not about denying emotions, but about rising above them. And those who master this art hold the key to true power. Now that you have learned how to control your emotions and master your mind, it is time to take the final step, transforming your daily habits and using brain hacks to create an extraordinary life. In the next part, you will discover simple yet powerful techniques to rewire your mind for long-term success. Stay tuned, because the journey is far from over. Transform your life with daily brain hacks. The mind is a tool, and like any tool, its effectiveness depends on how it is used. Some people allow their minds to be filled with distractions, negative thoughts, and limiting beliefs. Others train their minds every single day, sharpening their focus, strengthening their discipline, and rewiring their thinking to create a life of success. The difference between these two groups is not luck or intelligence. It is how they use their brains. Every day, the brain processes thousands of thoughts, and most of them are repetitive. If these thoughts are empowering, a person moves forward in life. But if they are filled with doubt, fear, or laziness, progress stops. This is why daily brain training is not a luxury. It is a necessity. The mind must be fed with positive, productive, and powerful inputs. It must be challenged, just like the body, to grow stronger. Without this, it falls into patterns of procrastination and weakness. Small daily habits have the power to reshape the brain completely. A person who wakes up and starts the day with positive affirmations, gratitude, and goal setting is programming their brain for success. A person who wakes up and scrolls through social media, filling their mind with negativity and distraction, is programming their brain for failure. The brain is like a sponge, it absorbs whatever is around it. This is why the first and last thoughts of the day are the most important. One of the simplest yet most powerful brain hacks is controlling the morning routine. The first hour of the day sets the tone for everything that follows. High achievers do not wake up and react to the world. They wake up and take control. They move their bodies, feed their minds, and plan their day with purpose. They start with clarity, not chaos. This simple shift in routine can change the trajectory of an entire life. Another game-changing brain hack is eliminating distractions. In today's world, the ability to focus is more valuable than ever. Most people live in a constant state of distraction, jumping from one thing to another, never giving their full attention to anything. But the brain works best when it is fully engaged. Those who train themselves to focus deeply, whether on work, learning, or personal growth, achieve results faster than anyone else. Focus is a skill, and it can be strengthened. The brain thrives on new experiences. Repeating the same routine every day without challenge causes mental stagnation. But learning something new, a skill, a language, or even a new way of thinking, forces the brain to grow. This is why successful people never stop learning. They keep pushing their mental limits, knowing that every new challenge builds stronger neural connections. The mind must be stimulated, not sedated. One of the biggest obstacles to success is mental fatigue. When the brain is overloaded with useless information, it becomes exhausted. This is why simplifying life and focusing only on what truly matters is essential. Successful people do not waste mental energy on things that do not serve them. They train their brains to prioritize, filter out distractions, and focus on high-value actions. Visualization is one of the most powerful brain hacks in existence. The brain cannot tell the difference between something vividly imagined and something real. This is why athletes, performers, and high achievers practice mental rehearsal. They see their success before it happens. They train their minds to believe it is already real, and the brain starts working to make it a reality. What the mind believes, the body follows. Another way to reprogram the brain is through repetition. A single motivational moment is not enough. The brain changes when thoughts and actions are repeated daily. Success is not about making big changes once. It is about making small, consistent changes every single day. Those who understand this never rely on motivation alone. They create habits that keep them moving forward no matter what. The people around us shape our minds more than we realize. The brain absorbs the energy, beliefs, and habits of those in our environment. Surrounding oneself with driven, positive, and disciplined individuals naturally improves thinking patterns. On the other hand, spending time with negative, lazy, and unfocused people drags the mind into the same state. The best way to upgrade the brain is to upgrade the environment. One of the greatest lessons in life is that the mind controls emotions, not the other way around. Most people let their emotions dictate their actions. But the strongest minds understand that emotions are just signals, not instructions. Instead of reacting impulsively, they step back, analyze, and respond with logic and discipline. This is what separates those who achieve great things from those who are controlled by their feelings. The brain loves clarity. When there is too much confusion, decision-making becomes slow and difficult. This is why successful people simplify their thoughts. They do not waste time overthinking. They make decisions, take action, and adjust as needed. Overthinking drains mental energy, while decisive action creates momentum. Mental toughness is built through resistance. The strongest minds are not the ones who avoid challenges, but the ones who face them head-on. They understand that struggle is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of growth. Every difficult situation is a chance to strengthen the brain, to build resilience, and to develop unshakable confidence. The brain is constantly looking for patterns. This is why habits are so powerful. If a person allows themselves to make excuses, the brain will make it a habit. If a person pushes through discomfort and takes action no matter what, that too will become a habit. Training the brain to default to discipline instead of excuses is a superpower that few people master. The biggest breakthroughs happen when the mind is at its peak state. This is why protecting mental energy is critical. Sleep, nutrition, and exercise are not just for physical health. They directly impact brain function. A well-rested and well-fueled brain processes information faster, makes better decisions, and stays motivated longer. Those who take care of their brains perform at a higher level in every area of life. Gratitude is one of the simplest yet most powerful brain hacks. When the brain focuses on what is good, it creates more positive energy, leading to more success. People who practice gratitude daily train their minds to see opportunities instead of obstacles. This mindset shift changes everything. The biggest lesson in mastering the brain is understanding that it is always a work in progress. There is no final destination. Growth never stops. The mind must be fed, challenged, and trained daily. Those who understand this never settle. They keep pushing forward, knowing that the best version of themselves is always ahead. Mastering the brain is the key to mastering life. When the mind is sharp, disciplined, and focused, everything else falls into place. Success, happiness, and fulfillment are not accidents. They are the result of consistent mental training. This is just the beginning. The journey to unlocking full potential never ends. Every day is another opportunity to train the mind, sharpen the focus, and push the limits of what is possible. The only question is, will you take control, or will you let your mind control you?